Shalom, giving all the praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rahakodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who teach and rule well. I believe that those are the true leaders in Israel that have came back through reincarnation. I'd like to say Shalom as well to the sincere Akim that are serving Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai with fear and trembling in expectation of salvation in these latter days, whom are the modern day saints, which consists of the men, women, and children. It's a lot to dissect, in this video. I have a few clips per usual, and this is ultimately going into how fast America, aka Babylon the Great's collapse will be. And as the saying, just paraphrasing, a lot of things can take place in 10 years, but ultimately in one day, a lot of these things can take place even harder. We've been seeing the signs with these different monetary systems indicating how they're going to go live. The central banking, digital currency, okay, and also all of these different systems that rely on the fiat currency, the dollar bill, all right, seeing its weakness. Okay, because in different nations, you go to these different nations and you see the strength of the US dollar weakening. You're not seeing what you used to see, like if you went to Mexico 10, 15 years ago, right? The dollar, was way stronger. Now, it's pretty much parallel to even these third world countries, and this this is going to shift us straight into Jacob's trouble. All right, the effects are going to be dynamic, and everything that the Lord said is playing out. It's playing out to a T. The vision that was written, all right, was explained by the prophets and to be made plain, and we ultimately seeing the vision from the prophets being illustrated in real time, high definition. Now, something that's interesting in this video is this woman here says that California will be the first state to collapse. All right, just indicating some things that we already know, because this system is divided. It's, all these different congressmen, politicians, senators, and what have you are all one against another. They're not united. They're not together. They're all on their own different agendas and pages. All right, and that's according to the word of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. A kingdom like that, it won't stand. Heavenly Father has caused this division amongst these heathen, and we're seeing, all right, the end of this devil, all right, the so-called white man and his kingdom. All right, this rampage-driven devil, all right, is no longer feared from these other nations. All right, they're over there politicking, all right, in the Middle East and blocking off the seas and taxing his devil, and that's showing his strength is not really feared. All right, although he's killing their leaders, all right, their regime is still standing. and it's going to stand until the missiles are sent off. All right, and this thing is going to take but a short time. All right, for the Heavenly Father to seal this thing up. Now we know there's things that have to take place, such as Jacob's trouble. All right, the implementation of the mark of the beast, which it's gonna move in pretty quick, because now they're already threatening America's amusement parks and places of celebration. Okay, on top of the mirth that's already gone here, you have threats from the enemies of these Muslim nations, and it's just a matter of time.
States that are going to go down if the dollar collapses? Let me show you. Let's check it out. Dollar Apocalypse Survival Guide for the Next Great Depression. Right here, Chapter 22, the first U.S. states that will go down after the dollar comes home. First, it talks about which state, then where the state will break first. Talks about social unrest, not to count on city services, clean water and extra fuel, if you live in a crowded city, connecting with people who have trades and skills. And it goes state by state into details and directions about each one. This book also talks about exactly what to do if martial law is declared, and how to protect your property, home, and assets when crime skyrockets and law enforcement is stretched beyond their limits, and the side hustles to make money that are only going to be available in a crisis, and where to invest before the collapse happens. Even medicines you need to get before the pharmacies run dry. This is an amazing new resource, and every home should have a copy of this book for the coming days ahead.
They get your board in the water.
That's ultimately Jacob's trouble summed up in one bunch. Okay, because when that take place, that's ultimately the voice of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. All right, speaking. All right, towards the wickedness and the evil. All right, committed in America, and him defending the elect. All right, by coming speedily. All right. And that's what the Lord said he was going to do, avenge the elect. All right. This is the book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 15 and verse 12. It says, Egypt shall mourn, and the foundation of it shall be smitten with the plague and punishment that Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai shall bring upon it. All right. And this is the punishment that's incoming. All right. Plague, famine, death to the monetary system. All right, buying, selling, and trading here in America is going to be miserable. Why? Because inflation is going to take off, and there's going to be, people in a miserable state. It says, "They that till the ground shall mourn, for their seed shall fail through the blasting in hell and with a fearful constellation. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein." All right. Woe means death and destruction. Terrible times are ahead. For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up, fight against another, and swords in their hand. All right. And we're in those times, the rumors of wars. All right. And these devils know it's the end. These devils have a clear understanding that the collapse of this sinking ship is on the verge.
And prepare to paddle like all get out. The tsunami of a lifetime is coming, and nothing your elders have seen is going to prepare. There's no good advice to give that's specific. Let's put it this way. One of the things when people tell me about their moving from one city to another, I have a phrase that nobody likes, which is every place is over. Oh, I'm moving to Austin. Yeah, it's over. Miami, it's over. Nashville, over. All these places are over. And every occupation that is named is over. I'm going to be a dentist, radiologist, accountant, teacher. These are all over. Whatever's coming, get flexible, get good on a bunch of different stuff. Learn how to think across disciplines. I have no idea what's going to be left for us.
And what comes to mind? This devil, he's telling you there's nowhere you can run. All right, Job 20:24. He shall flee from the iron weapon, and the bow of steel shall strike him through. All right, he's probably talking about people fleeing, because of money and what have you. But Jacob's trouble, there's gonna be nowhere to hide, as if a bear, met a lion. You're gonna turn to the left and turn to the right, and it's gonna be nothing but coverage of destruction. All right, and the heaven is revealing this devil's iniquity. All right, this video is just going into these women in the ICE detention centers, showing the climate. This is the judgment. All right, we warned you that the Lord is going to carry some of you into these concentration camps. Hey, many years ago, the elders have been speaking of this, and it's taking place. All right, and the Heavenly Father's sword is drawn. All right, it's just time to execute. I pray this lesson was edifying.